Chuki beat.
Yes, there is no sound. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Rookie mistake.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Rookie mistake. That's okay, guys. That's okay.
Sorry. So you have to do the intro all over again. Sorry.
That's all right. I don't mind it. We good to go?
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. Welcome back to B2B, Back to the Basics with DIY Mixers crew. I am your host, Shake and Vape 007. Filling in for Folk Art today is Lewis. Steam Room decided to show up today along with BlackMamba. Today, we are going to talk about some of the homework that BlackMamba did last week, some of his single flavor testing. I know he got his scale in. I believe he is going to be doing some wonder flavors. We'll get those in a second. If you guys and gals enjoy our content, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for up-and-coming events. So, last week, me and Folk Art decided to give you a little homework assignment, some single flavor testing. So what are the flavors, BlackMamba? Now, this show is about you today, my man. So what are the flavors that you decided to single flavor test to share with some of the new mixers out there that are going through the trials and tribulations that you're going through right now?
So the 5 flavors that I decided to try are from Real Flavors. They're some of the only flavors that I had at the moment that you guys told me to actually single flavor test flavors. But getting to them, the 5 flavors are watermelon from Real Flavors. Then you got the taffy based from Real Flavors. It's going to be a saltwater taffy. You have the cinnamon roll. You have a very high concentrated blue raspberry. And you have a banana bread.
Cool.
So let me ask you, though, you also got your 501B in last week. I remember you was unboxing it, I think, at the end of the show last week. So how you liking that son of a bitch? You liking that scale?
Oh, my God. That thing is so amazing, man.
It is. For the price, you cannot beat it, new mixers out there. I'm telling you what, you new mixers out there, I know some of you guys, you know, you buy the syringes and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with using syringes, but I'm telling you what, I'm just saving you a headache later on down the line. You're going to end up moving to mixing with weight, and that is your best option. It's so easy. There's no cleanup. It's awesome. You know what I mean? And it saves you. It pays for itself in the long run. So, speaking of the scale, so how easy was it to set up for you being a new mixer? Pretty easy, or?
Calibrating it was super easy. Like you said, I was unboxing it and I calibrated it while we were talking in the chat. Once I got it calibrated and I figured out how to actually like set it up and everything and start mixing, I started mixing like it was nothing. I mean, hey, there was little to no cleanup afterwards besides putting it away. Other than that, I have 2 flavors that I'm ready to release here pretty soon. So, hey.
Awesome. So real quick, before we start moving on, if you guys and gals have any questions out there in the chat, make sure you put at B2B or at DIY Mixers Crew. Feel free to ask any questions. Don't think it's going to be stupid or anything like that. We got some awesome mixers in here today. And if I can't answer it, I'm sure Steam Room will jump in and he'll answer it. And I'm sure Lewis will as well. So getting to your single flavor testing. Now, this is key, guys, for you new mixers out there. I think this is like the fundamentals of being a mixer, is like going back to saying that, hey, you know, I can go off of somebody else's notes, but at the end of the day, single flavor testing, you're going to have to test these flavors for yourself to understand how they sit on your palate and how they taste to you. You know,
Dave,
you might have, yes.
They said the volume is low.
Okay. So Lewis will have to turn that up. And while he's doing that, getting back to what I was saying, I apologize for that. Hopefully that'll be fixed in like a couple seconds here. But
how is it now? Did it improve?
Good. Test. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm sure it has.
Yeah, probably.
So I think that's one of the key factors in being a new mixer is, you know, taking notes, doing single flavor testing on some of the flavors that come in that you get, because, you know, you can figure out where they sit on your palate, and then it takes a lot of frustration out when you're going to start doing recipes, when you're doing recipe creation and stuff like that. You know, little subtle differences in certain flavors. You know, we'll start off with the banana bread from Real Flavors that you were testing. Give me some of your thoughts on that flavor, single tested, on what percentages that you tested it at, and like what kind of, you know, what did you pick out mostly that was dominant on your palate, like when you were single flavor testing it?
So I only tested it at 2.5%. Actually, banana is more dominant than the bread. I mean, it is banana bread, but I wish that there was just a little bit more of the bready and cinnamon kind of taste to it. It was a little bit bland on that side, but banana was pretty good. So maybe if you mix it with another type of cinnamon and another type of like nut and bread and all that stuff, you can get a good banana bread out of it.
See that, there you go. Now that just goes to show you on where it's going to be sitting on your palate. Now, me personally, if I was to taste that flavor or single flavor test it, I might find it different. I might get more of like a bread note, you know, or more of a some type of, you know, yeasty type, you know, bakery type note from it. Me personally, I don't think I have that flavor, so I can't really tell you on what my thoughts on it. Steam, have you flavor tested that by chance?
Real Flavors?
No, the banana bread from Real Flavors.
From Real Flavors?
Yes.
No, I have Real Flavors. I have their line on the way, but I haven't tested with it yet.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, and see, here's the thing though too. I mean, now I know from you saying 2.5%, I'm assuming that was their super concentrate, their SC from their SC line. Now, Real Flavors is pretty accurate. I mean, I know some of their flavors you have to go a little bit above, like their 2.5%. You know, this is our suggested. You know, what you should mix this into, whatever it be, is 2.5%. Now, it could be higher or lower. You know what I mean? So moving on, I think the next one you said that you were single flavor testing was the blue raspberry.
Okay, the blue raspberry. Like I said when I was first talking about it, it is very high in concentrate. I tested that at 2.5% as well. I mean, I tested everything at 2.5%. It's a really strong blue raspberry. You can taste it tastes just like blue raspberry, but it is very strong. So I think that I may have to dilute it down a little bit more, and then maybe it would be good, but it was just like super strong at 2.5% by itself.
Okay. Now at 2.5%. Now here's the thing. Now with doing your single flavor testing, you tested it at 2.5%. Now, what would you say if you were doing a simple recipe like blue raspberry cotton candy or something like that? Of course, you're going to want that blue raspberry to be the dominant note, like in your recipe, in your foundation. So now that you know that it's super strong at that 2.5%, you might want to tone it down, when you're making your recipe. Now, what are is besides that blue raspberry flavor, because I don't think blue raspberry really exists, but it doesn't exist, but would that be like a flavor in your opinion that maybe you, instead of doing like a candy recipe, would that be something that you think that maybe you could pair with like another fruit or anything like that, like something along those lines?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a very good flavor to pair with another fruit. And actually, I'm looking to try and put it into a dessert as well.
Cool.
Just because you don't see that many blue raspberries in desserts.
Well, like a blue raspberry cheesecake or something.
Yeah,
it's kind of a bright flavor. It might be good. You probably want to drop a little, I don't know if you have bilberry from Flavor West in there, but just to give it a little bit of that rich berry dessert flavor in the background. Jam it up a little bit. Who knows? With Vape Train's Jam It, you might be able to do a little something with that.
Yeah, I heard good things about that flavor. I'm excited to try that jam. It pretty much just turns anything into jam.
Yeah.
Do a banana jam.
Simon's been talking really good on them. I'm excited.
Yeah. So cinnamon roll. I think I believe I have that one from Real Flavors, and you said you tested all these at 2.5%. Now this is probably one of their, as far as the banana bread might be a little bit complex. The blue raspberry is pretty much just like a sweetener plus the chemical compounds in it to make that raspberry flavor up. But this is probably a more complex flavor when it sits on your palate, being that it is a bakery plus a cinnamon. What were your thoughts on this flavor? Now, I know this flavor, so me personally, on my palate, how I feel about it. So what do you get out of this one?
Cinnamon roll was one of my favorites. You kind of get that doughy taste of the roll itself, and kind of like that pastry taste with it, and then the cinnamon hits you, and then at the bare end of the hit, you get that glaze. The glaze is kind of mute, but if you're actually sitting there looking for it, you can get it.
Okay. Now, see, this is why I'm a bakery guy, because I just love bakeries. If you was to think of something that you could pair with this, now this goes back to the pairing video that we had out there. By doing the single flavor test on the cinnamon roll, what do you think that would pair with to come up with some kind of either Danish or any type of bakery? What would you complement that flavor with to kind of bring it out to,
I can't think of the name of the manufacturer, but it's Biscuit.
Biscuit.
Okay. Yep, Inawera. I think that I'd add a little bit of Biscuit, and actually to mix it up just a little bit, I'd throw in a little bit of Bavarian cream, probably at 0.5%.
Okay. Now, would you kind of highlight that? What about any fruits or anything like that? You think you'd throw any fruits at it?
Any fruits? That's a tough one. I mean, because I would say a cherry, but all the cherries that I've tried has like that medicine-y taste to it. So there's like kind of no way of getting away from that medicine-y taste of the cherry. Um,
Th-
I
think of
would
think of McDonald's. What do they got at McDonald's?
apple pie.
There you go.
That's what I was about to say. I would mix an apple with it.
Throw some apple at it. You got yourself a nice little apple fritter type deal because you get those bakery notes in there.
A pear would be good.
Pear, yeah. You could even bend. Well, that's bending. You can, but anyhow, yeah. With the pear, you can complement the. You can even do them both to kind of accent that apple. Throw the pear in with the apple. It'll kind of bring on the apple a little bit. So you got the taffy base from Real Flavors. You said you have mixed that up. So what are you feeling about that? More of a candy, more of a like off flavor, like plasticky, like what are you getting off of that?
The taffy itself, I'm getting kind of like, actually, I'm getting like, you ever had like saltwater taffy, but like can't really taste any flavor in it? I'm getting the taffy itself, so it's kind of like not a rubbery taste, but kind of like a plasticky taste a little bit to it. I have mixed it with fruits before, and I have had good taffies come out of that flavor. So I know that it's a good flavor, but by itself, it's a no.
There you go. So okay, so
Roasting flavorings already.
yeah. So the last one that you tested was the watermelon. Now I think this would go good. Do you think that would go good with the taffy base?
Yes, that's actually one of the flavors that I did mix with the taffy. Actually, I
Okay.
mixed the watermelon and I mixed the blueberry, and I made actually a watermelon blueberry taffy.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, not blueberry, blue raspberry taffy.
Okay.
Which actually came out pretty good. That was one of the very first flavors that I mixed up. Actually, when I first got this stuff, I believe I first got this stuff maybe 6 months ago, and I
He's
actually
been
got it.
dragging his feet a little bit on mixing, admittedly.
Yeah,
There's nothing
admittedly,
wrong
I
with that,
have.
man. Nothing
No.
wrong with that.
He's going at his own pace. There's nothing wrong with it. He's the turtle.
Yeah.
He's the turtle. Turtles always win the race, though.
Man. So that's great,
Scientific
man.
fact.
So that's great, man. I think you did a wonderful job of doing the single flavor testing. I don't know why my YouTube's been shutting off today for some reason. Like, what the hell's going on with YouTube?
Has it been forced closing the app itself?
Yeah, it forced closed my app just right now, and it actually
Delete it, then re-download it.
yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna have to do because it actually, even when I was listening to some music today, it did the same thing. It would just like freaking pause on its own. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, what's going on? But anyhow,
What kind of phone do you have?
I have an Android and an iPhone, but I'm using the iPhone right now.
Okay, so the very
That-
weird thing
that-
about
that- that's why.
iPhones,
Dave's
Yeah.
a traitor. Dave's a traitor.
it
No, I
actually
have
is
both.
why.
I love Android. I have both. Android
Yeah.
and
It's like having a wife and a mistress. You're still a traitor.
well, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But one of the weird things about iPhone is that when your app is due for an update or it's about to go through an update, it'll start force closing a little bit, and it's kind of weird. So you got to like delete it and then re-download it, and then like an app, not an app, but an update will go through while it's downloading, but it won't show that.
Okay. I got you. So yeah, man, you did pretty awesome on those single flavor tests that we decided to talk about. So how do you feel about maybe creating a recipe? I know you said you had one in the works, and you said you already mixed one up. How do you feel about maybe creating a recipe with that watermelon taffy and that blue raspberry? And have you released anything yet or no?
With any flavors in general, or just
I mean, any recipes in general on ATF?
I haven't. They're sitting on my ATF account buffer, waiting to be released.
Okay. So I think, how do you feel about your taffy blue raspberry watermelon recipe?
I think it's pretty good. I think I feel like it needs a little bit of sweetener to it, honestly. And somebody, not going to say any names, they told me to order some sweetener, so I ordered some sweetener the other night because I was sitting in
Don't
my
put my
room.
name endorsing sweeteners now. Don't do that. But he did finally order Capella Super Sweet. I mean, it is a necessity. Some flavors are lacking sweetness, and you just need it. You know, you should have ethyl maltol too. But in regards to your recipes being on ATF waiting to drop, don't be scared, man. Just remember you're mixing for yourself first and foremost. And if you really like the flavor, somebody else is too. So don't be scared, man.
I'm waiting on DCN to realize that he's muted.
You mean Dave?
Not too much to begin with anyway, so you can force mute me anytime you want. Yeah, but like Steam's like 100, absolutely, he's correct on that. If it tastes good to you, you know what I mean? That's all that matters. But yeah, Capella Super Sweet, like he said, that's one of the tools I think that a mixer will need in their arsenal as far as cotton candy, EM in your arsenal. I use both. I'll use a TFA sweetener and I will use Capella Super Sweet. It just depends on what scenario, how heavy I want the sweetness to be.
Yeah.
Like with Capella Super Sweet, it's yeah, dude, you can taste the difference between the two. It's super sweet. That's why they call it super sweet. You know what I mean? And if you just want inherent sweetness in the recipe, TFA Super Sweet, or I'm sorry, TFA sweetener is the way to go with that. So yeah, man, I challenge you, if once you get that sweetener in there and tweak it a little bit more, release that recipe on ATF, because I definitely want to try it. I want to see those percentages. I want to see what you use those flavors at. I want to mix that up maybe next week. Give it a go. When did you order it? Is it going to be coming in the next few days, or you got to wait a little bit longer?
I can give you an answer for that in the next few seconds.
Okay. Speaking of that, while he's looking that up, make sure you check us out this Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, our regular show that we have. I actually ordered the Dead Rabbit single coil. So I'm going to be, hopefully it'll be in. I ordered it, I think, Sunday or Monday. I know it shipped out. Hopefully that'll be in by this Sunday. And I could do a little review on it. I heard it has tremendous flavor. I think it'll be excellent for single flavor testing. So I'm going to give that a whirl. We'll see how that goes. But go ahead, BlackMamba.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still looking at the moment.
Oh, okay. Now, Steam, your show.
Yes.
He's a regular guest on your show, right?
Yes.
All right. So that is called Juiced. That's on 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays.
Correctamundo.
Yeah, I caught some of that show this past Sunday.
That was a shit show.
It wasn't a shit show. Hey,
Yes, it was.
I don't want to. It was that awesome banner that you had running down at the bottom of the.
Call it. Fuck you, man. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. You know.
Nah, I'm kidding. Hey,
No, it wasn't. I found out it was not the show. I mean, it was not the banner.
Okay.
It was my internet connection, because my router needed a refresh. So I refreshed it, and like my internet connection went back to good. I don't know.
You know what? That happened to me last week when we were going live. My for some reason, I don't know if it's the shitty weather that we're having over here, but up north, because I
you
live
had to switch over to your phone, right? Like,
well, I know. Well, I don't run the OBS. I know Folkart, he just gets shitty internet regardless. But like, I don't know if it was the cold weather. My modem just kept resetting itself. Like,
who's your internet provider?
Comcast. I'm getting rid of them. I'm going probably with Verizon real soon.
Pew pew pew! Shots fired, Marcel.
I know, right?
Hey,
He
you work
for
for Comcast?
bro.
Who works for Comcast?
Marcel does.
Well, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with Comcast.
Oh, don't backstep.
No, listen. But the thing where I live with Comcast is all of our shit's underground. You know what I mean? They run all that shit underground, and that shit's like ancient, man. That's probably like when they just came out with, like, they did. I live on 2 cul-de-sacs, and they don't give a fuck about us up here, man. They just they come over and they kick the box and see you later. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, you are in PA, you are in the Union area, so
yeah, I mean, in Verizon, they didn't want to come in. Long story short, they finally said, screw it. You know, they came in, they spent the money, and they dug the underground tunnels and everything like that, ran all the fiber optics and shit for Verizon. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
all the fiber cable and coaxial cable, and they did the conduits and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, well, I tell you what though, this is the God's honest truth though. When I first moved here like 10 years ago, Comcast was horrible, but they did fix it. It's so much better now, but like I don't know. We'll see what happens. Getting back to the show.
We'll talk after the show.
Yeah, we'll talk show about cable anyhow and about
But
David, sorry.
my order. I'm sorry.
Yes,
Sorry
sir.
to interrupt you. So only to answer Jeffrey on the chat. Yes, the Dead Rabbit, both versions come with skunk pin.
You know what? The only we'll talk about that on Sunday. So make sure you got Jeff. Make sure you tune in on Sunday. I like real quick. I'll just give you a little sneak peek. My only thing I think about that is it's a 22 mil. It's not 24. I don't understand. I understand it's for the flavor, but we'll talk about that on Sunday. Thanks for the heads up on that. So, Vercel, what are some of the more flavors that you think that you're going to be single flavor testing and creating some recipes with? And what do you think? Like we'll get back to some of that, like that cinnamon, and like pairing it with other things like that. But what are some of the flavors that are kind of piquing your interest now as far as doing single flavor testing? What do you think your palate's adjusting to, and what do you think you're enjoying now that you're in mixing? You know,
God, there's so many.
a lot different from buying commercial juice, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, like, wow, it opens up a whole new world that you can, it's just endless possibilities on what you can do with flavors.
I will be right back. I gotta go grab the flavors. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem.
All right then. Hey, I just want to take this opportunity to praise the gods for Todd Haley being fired today. It's fucking awesome. Thank you, gods. Dave, I know. Can you hear me?
David.
Oh,
He's muted.
okay, cool. Oh, I'm just getting the floor. How you guys doing? What's happening?
Yeah, you got the floor, my man. I'm taking notes and stuff
I'm
like
good.
that.
I'm getting ready
So,
to-
you do your thing, Steam Room.
You see that? That's why I'm wearing a black shirt, so I can just do this. See? See? Does anybody have any questions in the chat? What's up, y'all? I see Brad's out there. Hi. I know your real name now, Astro.
Oh, yeah, he.
For life, bro. You need to do that 30 mil. Get on that thing.
So Astro, he did ask a question, and yes, we are working on the milks. That's another thing, guys. The DNC challenge with the milk, coordinated with Noted, that comes on Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, there are a few recipes that people have already released for that. I myself am working on a few. Cereal, I know it's an old school, but I did get some new Bickford flavors in, and I'm enjoying some of the ones that I've tried so far. Doing some single flavor testings on those, and I can tell you that the fruit rings is not lemon pledge. I'm really enjoying it, but it's a little bit weak. So time will tell with the steep. We'll see how that goes. But go ahead, BlackMamba. You said you have some flavors that you were looking at.
I just grabbed a few that I've been playing around with. One of the big ones is going to be Lemon Sicily by Flavor Arts. That's going to be one of the main flavors that I want to single flavor test. I'm sorry.
Good choice.
Just because it is such a strong lemon.
Very good. One of my favorites. It doesn't hold up to the steep, though. That's the only problem with that flavor.
Yeah.
very enjoyable. I love it a lot. I think it's one of my favorite lemons. What about you, Lewis? Steam? How do you like that flavor?
Flavor Express.
Flavor Art.
Flavor Art.
Oh,
I love it.
lemon Sicily.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
It's great with strawberries. It's great as a back note. I like to use it, somewhere in the usually around the 0.5% range, something like that. Just kind of, I use lemon Sicily as more of a seasoning than a note.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Not me. I could bathe in it. I can use it as like aftershave. I love that shit. It's awesome.
Pretty serious.
What do you mean after shave? You don't shave.
I know. I'm trying to grow a beard, But anyhow, we're just taking up dead space right now. But real quick, we try to keep these shows quick. Basically, BlackMamba did his homework assignment for the week.
That's Bay right there. That's Bay.
Flavor FE, yes. This is probably going to be one of the flavors that I might be putting in my cereal. I don't know yet. Because that just say, if I put FE lemon in my cereal, that just goes to show you that Bickford Fruit Rings doesn't have that lemon pledge flavor. Threw me off a little bit.
Not Charles Manson. Man, it's so good, dude. You have to go check out his cereal on ELR, dude. Not Charles Manson. He nailed it. The Fruit Loops, he nailed it.
Oh yeah, I've tasted it before. Excellent recipe. Love it.
Oh yeah.
Love it. Super phenomenal.
And if you replace the creams that he uses with 101 milky undertones, it creates that bottom of the bowl effect. It's very good.
That's what I was kind of going for. But I used the Vienna cream.
That'll work too.
Yeah, I used Vienna cream.
Creme fraiche.
Creme fresh sweetener. I used. I might as well I'm not going to give the whole thing away, but I put a little hazelnut in there, hazelnut grove.
Come on, man, don't be stingy.
Really small percentage of that in there. Little bit of AP, just to kind of give it that TFA banana cream. That's all I'm going to say. I put a little in there, but that's all I'm going to say. Just to kind of give it that creaminess.
Okay.
The banana.
Can you say the S? Can you say it? Can you do that again?
No, I'm not going to give the whole recipe because it's still in development. We'll talk more about that on another episode of DIY Mixers Crew. But anyhow, like I said, so thanks so much for today, BlackMamba, for sharing your flavor notes. Congratulations. I think you did a wonderful job on the flavors that you flavor tested. I think you're moving along super awesome. My thing for you is what I want you to do is once you get that sweetener in, I want you to incorporate that into your taffy recipe. And I think that maybe we should do a little release next week on some of your recipe and showcase that. And we will mix that up live next week on Back to the Basics. And we will critique it. We'll see what it's all about. You know what I mean? See how.
And no problem. The sweetener will actually be in tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. So that'll give you a week to adjust your percentages and everything like that on it. Now, do you have any questions, Lewis or Steam, for him? Maybe what you think that maybe he should do on maybe some kind of creation?
I have one. Marcel, will you be, or are you thinking of a milk recipe for our challenge, or is it too soon to you?
On a milk recipe, I haven't really thought about it much, but yes, I will be now.
Good for you. We'll be expecting your recipe for the DMC challenge on milk.
Now, let me ask you this for Sal before we get out of here. What do you have any fruits in your arsenal besides the watermelon?
Fruits, yes. I got Capella's grape. I got Capella's sweet strawberry. I have. Oh God, I got somebody's pear.
That's okay. Just tell me what fruits that you got.
I got pear. I got bilberry. I got blueberry wild. I have
sweet strawberry.
Pineapple. I have a ton of watermelon. I have sweet strawberry. I have strawberry ripe.
Okay, this is going to be your assignment besides releasing your recipe, because that'll be pretty easy. You're going to sit there and you're going to finish off your recipe. You're going to throw that up on ATF next Wednesday. That's the way everybody in the audience and that are watching all the new mixers can check out your recipe on ATF. What I want you to do is all the fruits that you have, okay, I want you to take those fruits and I want you to try to pair them up and bend them. Now,
Okay.
I'm sure you know what bending is by chance? Like bending a fruit or pairing a fruit or anything like that?
I'm guessing maybe making a fruit better.
Correct. So that just goes to show, like with apple and pear, how they really work together, or like a strawberry and a dragon fruit, or, you know, pairing two fruits together to make it a better fruit. You know what I mean? Pairing those two together. That's going to be your assignment. I want you to pick two of your fruit flavors, whether it be blueberries or strawberries or whatever, and try to make it a better fruit to put in a recipe. You
Okay.
understand what I mean? So that'll be your assignment for this week coming up. Do that.
Cool.
You want to add anything, Steam, before we get out of here? These shows are short and sweet. They don't go on for a long time.
How long have we been on?
About an hour.
Okay.
No, half hour. About a half hour. These shows are really like a half hour. They're not long. Got anything you want to add before we get out of here? Any questions in the audience? We got any questions here?
No, not really. I don't really have anything to say. Nothing interesting.
Nothing to say? Nothing interesting? Come on, man. You always got something interesting to say. What are you talking about?
Nah.
Okay, guys. Hey, we're going to get out of here.
Any suggestions on a milk profile for the challenge?
For me?
No, for
From
Steam.
Steam, yes.
Milk challenge? Wait, what? I'm lost in the sauce here. What's going on? There's a challenge?
That's okay. We collaborate with Noted.
Okay.
And whatever profile that they decide to do, I think they do like 4 different profiles every month or once a week. And they actually have those posted. I think Luke just asked me, the dude from Australia, he asked me, I think it's posted on Reddit. It gives you like a month in advance on what flavors are going to be testing week to week. We pick one and we ask members of our group and people that follow us to have a challenge. We pick one of their flavors, come up with a recipe, and then we talk about it live. Last month was we had a wonderful turnout. I think we had like 13 or 14 different recipes that incorporated a fig in the recipe. And then this month is going to be milk. It's a milk challenge. So we're challenging our members out there in the community or anybody that wants to do it to come up with their rendition of a milk or some type of milk, incorporate a milk in anything. It's just a milk recipe. So that's basically what we do to try to get the community motivated to mix. Because I know there's a lot of times where mixers out there, they hit a wall and they're just like, what can I mix? You know what I mean? So we kind of give them a challenge on, say, hey, okay, let's do milk this month. You know, so we're going to do milk. You know, next month might be pear or whatever noted. So basically we collaborate with them. That way it gets people to tune in to Noted to find out what they're talking about. And then, you know, we incorporate a recipe through that.
Bottom line, I didn't think have the work or the job to test 19 milks. Now we only have,
wow.
Yeah, he did. So we only have to pick one of them and make a recipe around it.
Okay.
So I was asking you, Tim, which profile would you suggest for this?
Milk and honey. Milk and cereal. Milk and
strawberries.
I think fruits work really well with milk. It's my opinion. But anyhow, shout out to everybody in the audience. See Mr. Burgundy, ML Nikon, thanks for showing up. Seeing Digital Graham Drops, thanks for showing up.
Hey guys.
Thanks to the guys in the audience for showing up today. But other than that, That's pretty much all we got for you guys today. For you new mixers out there, make sure you check the backup episodes on what we talk about. So hopefully these videos will help you through some of the trials and tribulations that you have as being a new mixer. Make sure you guys stay tuned this Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our regular show. Hopefully you guys and gals, we'll be doing the milk challenge. You know what I mean? Make sure you check Noted out at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what they're going to be talking about. I know Mil Nikon is in the chat right now. Maybe she could tell us what's going to be on this Monday for their challenge. And make sure, big shout out to Steam Room Vaping, and BlackMamba Vapes for coming on today. And make sure you check them guys out on Juiced, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. Other than that, guys, nice quick show for you guys today. Other than that, that's all I got for you. Do you have any questions before we get out of here?
Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'm actually on the phone, but
that's all right. You got anything, Lewis?
No, Emily is saying the next noted will be on cherries.
Cherries. Oh, that's going to be good. It's going to be a good one. All right, guys, we're out of here. Make sure you guys tune in next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, next Wednesday. Other than that, we'll see you. Make sure you do your homework assignment. BlackMamba, I'm interested to see what kind of pairings we can get for some fruits for you.
Oh, consider it done.
All right.
Okay.
You take care, man.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a great night.
are we off?